Right, that's Parker going off swimming with Granny. Mum's working. Danny's going fishing. Right then, we've just got to the car park. Very minimal bit of kit, very short session. Obviously my mum's having a little one today. I've come out for a couple of hours to see if I can get a bite up on the Forgotten Pond again. So I'm going to get my boots on, get the bag on my back, grab the rods, and let's go and see if we can catch a carp. Come on! Probably going to need one of them. Probably going to get a bit of rain. A few cows. Welcome to a new video. We're back on the bank. You joined me back on the Forgotten Pond. I fished it back in the summer with Ollie. Did a little bit of a reminiscing trips. We used to fish up here a lot when we were kids, so we came up and had a little go, managed to fish each, but I've come up for another little go. I managed to convince my mum to take my little one swimming, which gave me a few hours to get out this evening. So I've come up, had a little bit of a look around. It's looking really good. There's a bit of a southwesterly pushing up into this top end where I'm stood at the moment, and it looks quite good for a bite, I reckon, up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in this area, get a couple of rods out, put a little bit of bait in, and let's see if we can get a take over the next couple of hours before it gets dark. So let's crack on, get some rods out, and let's see if we can get a bite. Rod one then going out. I'm literally going to fish pretty short range along here. Just to show you what I'm using, solid bags. This one's got a bug done by wafter. The other one's got a PB yellow wafter. A little bit of pellet, some body crumb, nice and simple. I'm just flicking it out on the 9 foot, 2.75 pound C-series rod, and I've got a little Element bait runner, 12 pound line, so nice and light. I'm just going to be fishing close range. There's a real nice depth along here. It's about sort of 8 foot at least, I reckon. I'm going to just fish close range, a little bit of bait over the top of it. There's a lovely wind coming in here, and from previous sessions when the weather's been like this end can fish quite well. So just a little 2-rod buzzer bar set up, nice and compact. I've got a little C-series. You might not have seen these before, but those are the little C-series alarms. You can remember how to turn them on. There we go. Little C-series alarms. Happy days. And we're fishing. Took probably no more than 5 minutes, huh? Just need one to go weighing off now. A bit of bream. Well, that ain't the intended species. Right, so the rods are out and we are fishing. I've actually already had a fish, although it was a bream, so not the intended species, but it was nice to see the rod rattle and have a little bit of a tug on the old string. But anyway, tactics wise, I'm just fishing solid bags. The reason for that is perfect single bite tactic, you know, put a solid bag out. I do think a solid bag draws the fish in a lot quicker. I think it gets you a much quicker bite than just your standard rig on like a leg clip or helicopter setup. I absolutely love them. Definitely confident tactic, so I've gone in with some solid bags. I've got a little bit of boardy crumb in there, a little bit of pellet, and then I'm using a DNA bug wafter as the hook bait, and then over the top of the 2 solid bags that I've dropped in, I'm just putting a handful of 8mm and a few sort of 12mm bugs scattered around, just to try and create a bit of feed to draw some fish in and obviously try and get that bite. So I'm really happy with the tactics. It's what's actually worked really well for me in the past on here. I've caught plenty of fish out of this lake over the years, and I'm not going to change the tactics due to that. So anyway, the rods are out, they are fishing. I'm going to keep them topped up little and often. I do think the fish respond to the sound of bait going in here, so I'm going to just keep them topped up little and often, and let's hope we can actually have a carp. Right then, so I've been fishing about an hour. So far I've only had that one bream, not what I was after, but like I said, it was nice to get a bite. Now I've been getting loads and loads of liners, so there could be some bream out on the spots, but I think there is a good chance of having a carp. I just really feel today it feels so good for a fish. I'd be amazed if I don't have one. Now I can fish officially up until 9 o'clock tonight, but I'm probably not going to fish that late because in previous years I've found it's not worth it. Nothing really happens after dark, but I'm going to fish a bit into dark, maybe half an hour or so into dark, just to see if anything happens in that sort of golden sort of time, you know. And that golden hour, sort of half hour before dark, half hour after dark, is always the golden hour, isn't it? It tends to be the time when you're going to get a bite if you are going to have one, and the same sort of in the morning really. But anyway, I'm going to keep topping the spot up. Like I said, I'm getting liners, there's clearly some fish about. I'm really confident we're going to have a fish. I just hope it ends up being a banger if we get one, because there are some mega fish in here, and it'd be nice to be able to show you one of the lovely little scaly ones that's in here, because they are cool fish. So anyway, let's see if it goes rattling. Fingers crossed we're going to have one. I think it's going to happen. Right, well, that is bright. So I've switched to the GoPro for some updates now that it's got dark. So unfortunately, I've obviously not had anything up until it getting dark, and we've just started to have a bit of rain. So I've switched to the GoPro because the GoPro is obviously waterproof, whereas my SLR is not. So I've put the SLR into the bag, and if I get anything, I will get it out and set it up, I expect, to get a bit of footage for you. But for the time being, I thought I would just use the GoPro instead of getting the SLR wet. So I've packed all that into the bag for the time being. So I'm getting loads and loads of liners on the right hand rod. They're still happening, but I've still yet to have a fish, which is really surprising me. I thought as that light was going, it was almost guaranteed for one of those rods to go rattling off, but it's not happened. But I've got the head torch out, ready to go. I've got the light on top of the GoPro, which obviously will be on the chesty, so if we do get a take, I should be able to capture the fight on film and get all that still, even though it is dark. So yeah, fingers crossed we do have a fish before we have to go, but I'm going to give it probably half an hour. So I've got half an hour to get a bite now, so fingers crossed. Let's hope it happens. Well, as you can see, I've had to put up the old Fortis brolly. It's just enough to cover up the bag down there, cover up me sat on my chair. The unhooking mat down there is getting a bit wet. That's just like a little lightweight unhooking mat I use. I've just had a bit of a indication on the right hand rod. I think it might have been a bream. I thought it was about to go, Luckily it's not gone off because it's absolutely pouring down at the moment. But yeah, I've got about 10 minutes until I was going to go. Part of me's kind of wishing I just went when it got dark now. Yeah, it's been done. Oh dear. Well, this ain't gone to plan. It's just been done on that rod. I think it's a bream. I've been getting so many liners. I've literally just been sat on the chair with the brolly up, trying to stay out the rain. The rain has just sort of stopped. But I've been getting so many liners. And yeah. I don't think that was a carp. I think that was a bream as well. But absolutely nothing there. Right, I'm back at the van then. All the kit's just been chucked in. Obviously I haven't got a lot with me, so nice and easy. Just started the van up, letting her tick over and warm up a bit before I drive back. But yeah, I didn't have a carp. I can't believe it. The weather looked really good. We ended up having quite a heavy downpour, bit of a storm come through. Thought I was going to be in with a chance of having one. I was getting loads and loads of liners, but I just guess it must have been bream. I think I got done at the end, but again I think that was potentially just bream. Yeah, bit annoying if I'm honest, but it was nice to get a couple of rattles, although only bream. So I still enjoyed it. Nice to get out. Only a couple of hours fishing, so can't really complain. It is quite a short session to try and catch a carp. Can obviously be done, but just not on this occasion. But anyway, hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, then please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check out the social media showing at the bottom of the screen, and until next time, get out, be luckier than me, and I'll see you in the next video.